Hello, welcome to Spinal Cord Injury TV. On this channel we educate you and give review of people living with spinal cord injury, and also how they get to navigate their daily life activities. Transferring as a paraplegic depends on strength, technique, and the level of assistance or adaptive equipment available. Paraplegic lady share her transfer techniques based on strength, mobility, and the environment.
And I am not wheelchair bound. In fact, my neighbor says I'm, quote, the goingest person she's ever seen. There's a term called transfer, which describes the process of moving from one position or place to the next. And I make transfers in and out of my wheelchair all day. I'm not literally stuck to my wheelchair. And this video will show all the transfers I make in a single day. I wake up and go from my bed to my wheelchair, then to the toilet and back to the bed to do some work, but I ended up forgetting my laptop, so I had to get back up and get that. It gets a little repetitive, so I'll just keep the tally at the top of the screen, but I also ended up getting into the floor to work on a new Halloween wheel cover design for my website. I got on the floor to seal it and to cut this part out, and this was the final product. So I had to get back up into my wheelchair to get ready for an apartment tour, and it ended up being a bust, but I also needed to drop my car off for an inspection. In total, it ended up being over 20 transfers, but even you, if you're able-bodied, make transfers all day. Going from laying to sitting in the morning and sitting to standing from your bed, those are transfers. You just might not realize it because it's second nature. But to achieve the same end product, disabled people might need to plan more intentionally and take more energy.
She also gives some insight about her spinal cord injury journey.
I was paralyzed nearly 4 years ago, and there's this stereotype in movies where characters lose their spouse, friends, or family after being paralyzed. I've heard many personal stories of this happening to people after suddenly becoming disabled, and it even happened to me somewhat. My boyfriend had told me that one of his coworkers at the time was encouraging him to cheat on me since we probably weren't going to be close anymore. I also never returned to high school after my injury, and honestly didn't leave the house except for doctor's appointments, which isn't exactly helpful for keeping friends either. I also know some people were uncomfortable with me after I started posting about my experiences and perspective online. So I definitely can relate somewhat to that stereotype, as a lot of people do. This injury can be so isolating socially and emotionally because of physical barriers or assumptions. It changes every aspect of your life, but it also shows who is willing to grow and adapt to life with you. So if you're currently going through something similar, it does suck, but it also gets better with time.
Staying positive while living with a spinal cord injury can be challenging, but many people find ways to build resilience and maintain a fulfilling life. She share how she stay positive also.
A lot of people ask how I stay positive being paralyzed, which is a bit of a loaded question because newly injured Tara would have answered very differently than today's version of me nearly 4 years later. So it's clearly a very valid question, and in short, there is life after something traumatic and life-altering such as a spinal cord injury. You just might need time and assistance to find the resilience needed to heal enough to live it. Effort is often put in to recover physically but not psychologically, and with 18,000 people newly paralyzed every year in the US, a demand for accessible mental health services is created. The ACT-SCI study offers a telehealth program for people with SCI to aid in healing the invisible scars and emotional impact that a lot of us end up having. By participating in 8 weekly virtual sessions and completing 3 questionnaires, eligible participants are also awarded $245 in compensation. See below for more details about how you could participate in this study and maybe even experience post-traumatic growth along the way.
Taking time out with paraplegic friends is a community in an open question session.
Do you work?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I do work.
I do.
I do.
I do.
What do you do for work?
I'm a dentist.
I'm actually a professor of molecular biology, and I'm also on Team USA on the US women's sled hockey team.
You're a Paralympian.
Throw that in there, a couple gold medals.
I run a nonprofit. I am the executive director of the Wheel With Me Foundation, and outside of that, I am a traveling consultant that helps out businesses in the disability scene.
I work as an advocacy coordinator for an independent living center in Wisconsin.
My main job is Delta Airlines as a customer service representative. I'm also a licensed commercial drone pilot with my own company, our LLC.
I work for a wheelchair manufacturer as a sales rep.
I work for myself in real estate, small business, and lately I've been doing a lot of innovation, creating products, not necessarily to sell, but so that people can become aware of it. And then also I do some nonprofit stuff.
I'm a lady of the night. I'm just kidding. Oh my god.
Yes or no?
Yes, I do work. I work full-time for WellSpect. It's a bowel bladder management company. I also own a business.
Let's keep supporting the spinal cord injury community. Thank you for watching.
Kindly click subscribe. Thanks for your support.